Hello, everyone. This is our TBC broadcasters meeting today on July 5th, 2021. And this is our Monday, okay? Now, we all know that we have different meetings on this day. Now, first of all, folks, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Actually, folks, I didn't know if I'd be even doing this this TBC broadcast meeting today because a lot of you all know that I lost my mother. So I'd like to thank you all for sending your condolences all this past week. It was so heartfelt. I mean, you all are in my heart. And, you know, folks, I just want you to know I'd like to thank you all so very much. Okay, what I am going to do today, folks, I have a book here. And I'm now going to show you, this screen. I don't have to share my screen, I can just hold it up. Let me see, let me bring my screen down just a little bit. Okay. Okay, this book is made by, it's called 0 to 1. And I don't know how it looks on your screen, but it's by Peter Thiel. It's called 0 to 1. 0 to 1. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. I will later type all that in the chat if you know, but I've had this book for a while and it's a great read, folks. Okay, now the first chapter, guess what the first chapter is? And we can here in TBC, folks, we always looking into the future, right? And hopefully for the near future. But we look at, I know when we were having a conversation when I visited, when me and Mbeh was sitting on the hotel terrace, we were talking about the future, okay? And the title of this chapter is called The Challenge of the Future. The Challenge of the Future. Now, Peter Thiel is talking in this all throughout this book. So as I read this is not me, okay? It's him, okay? To make that sure. I may stop and say, I'm going to continue on, something like that. Okay, listen closely. Listen closely. Okay. And the title, I'm going to read the title again. The Challenge of the Future. He says, whenever I interview someone for a job, I like to ask this question. This is the question, folks. What important truth do the very few people agree with you on? I'm gonna read that again. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? That's a question. All right. I go on. This question sounds easy, but it's straightforward. Actually, it's very hard to answer. It's intellectually difficult because the knowledge that everyone is taught in school is by definition agreed upon. And it's psychological difficult because everyone trying to answer must say something she or he knows to be unpopular. Brilliant thinking is rare, but courage is in the shorter supply than genius. Now he goes on and listen to this. Most commonly, I hear answers like the following. 1, our education, excuse me, our education system is broken and urgently needs to be fixed. 2, America is exceptional. 3, now I didn't say this, he just saying this in this, there is no God. Now I keep on reading. Those are bad answers, he says. Okay. The first and second statements might be true, but many people agree upon, he says, let me read this again. Those are bad answers. The first and second statements might be true, but many people already agree with them. The third statement simply takes one side in a familiar debate. Okay, and I'm gonna go down a little bit. What does this contrary question have to do with the future? In the most minimal sense, the future is simply the set of all moments yet to come. Read that part again. What makes the future distinctive and important isn't that, let me read this part. But what makes the future distinctive and important isn't that it hasn't happened yet, but rather that it will be a time when the world looks different from today. In this sense, it's nothing about our society that changes for the next 100 years. Then the future is over 100 years away. If things change radically in the next decade, then the future is nearly at hand. No one can predict the future exactly, but we know two things. We know two things. It's going to be different, and it must be rooted in today's world. But listen to this part. Most answers on the contrary question are different ways of seeing the present. Good answers are those as we can come to looking into the future. Okay, folks, there was just an area, and I'm not going to read the entire chapter because it goes on and on and on. It's quite a few pages. But reason I thought I would read that to you all, and again, I'm gonna hold this up again. It's called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. And this happens to be an international bestseller. So it's all over the world, this book. All over the world. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about the future. Now here in TBC, we definitely have a future. When you agree, Mbeh? We have a future, but that future is getting near. But you know one thing, folks? When we get to the future, what's so important is what we are doing today, tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month. And so often we hear admin say that we're not moving as fast as he would like for us, that he would move. And y'all recall a TBC Master Adopter meeting led by Mbeh. I believe it was on a Thursday or a Friday. I want to say a Friday. And he was talking about we need to be in a hurry. I know you remember that, Mbeh. I know Mbeh remembered that.
Yes.
So while we're in a hurry, we got to be mindful that we're actually doing all the right things step by step by step. Because if we don't do that, then guess what? That future we're talking about will never come to be. But we all here believe that future will come to be. I recall Admin talking about before he even made himself known to us in TBC. In a particular, before we even had our private blog, we had a public blog, if you remember. And on some of those public blogs, he talked about what? the future. He often talks about what we have experienced already or before even our time, but he talks a lot about what the future, what he wants to see us become in the future. So I'm going to say to all of you all, guess y'all all, I've said that word so many times already, so I guess you all know what the key word is. And Mbeh, I know you know what it is, isn't it? Just say it.
Future.
That's right, future. That's the key word for today, folks, future. And by the way, it's not capitalized, by the way. I'm gonna just put that out there already.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen for a minute. Wait a minute. Let me just put in future. Hit submit. And it did match. Okay. So you just put that in, go to meetings, broadcast meeting. And so so it's not there, so you know it's in mine. Okay. Let me stop screen sharing. Okay. Mbeh, I don't want to put you out on a limb here, but do you want to mention say anything regarding our future, the whole discussion? When I read that passage, it talked about a few other things, but it also talked about future. It just so what do you have anything to say, you know?
Yes, Steve. I just wished I could have a copy of that book. Maybe we'll check it on Amazon. Because the book, just immediately when I was about to, how can I say, when I was about getting it more interesting, you actually stop reading, you know. Mm-hmm. But it looks like a very interesting book, and would like to read about it. Mm-hmm. And very, maybe you put the name of the book and the title on chat so that
I'm gonna do that right now.
Thank you so much. So concerning the main thing, Steve, the future, for me, as far as TBC is concerned, the future is bright. The future is orange, you know, and we just need to believe in what we are doing here, you know. If we can, sometimes with the admin, he always talk about time traveling, Steve. I don't know whether you remember.
Yes.
The admin talk about time traveling. So this boils down to what we are seeing here, the future. Because when you do some time traveling, now you now see that we're in our economic phase. TVCians now have their jet plane moving from one area to the other, selling deals here and there. And I tell you, Steve, if you see the way TBC, people are actually taking advantage of all the distribution the admin is giving. If we look at the admin's wallet, how it is dropping, every day is dropping, every day is dropping, you'll be very amazed. That is to tell you that people are actually seeing the future. Because somebody like me, Steve, I just put in my keyword because I know what a single keyword can do to me. I know what a single keyword that I will earn 1 TBC. I know what 1 TBC can do. 1 TBC can change one part of the world. 1 TBC can change a whole lot of things. So that's why I will not play with my TBC, which is my future. If you are playing with TBC, you are playing with your future. So that is it. So we need to always grab our keyword, make sure that we insert our keyword if we are seeing the future to be big. If not, a time will come when we shall have a lot to do with TBC that you might even run shortage of TBC. So if we really see the future, if we really, if we are all visionaries, then we should be able to take TBC very, very serious because we have done a lot of time traveling and the future is very, very bright, Steve.
And like you know, we have accomplished so much already in these 6 years. We have done so much and we have been through so much, but we have so much more to do, you know? So, you know, I've been talking about, like you said, time traveling. We talk, and it's all about the future. So, but we want that future to be bright.
Right.
And the only way that future can be bright is that we go through our steps properly, that we use everything that's in our Kringle Cash back office to the key.
Right.
So, folks, we just anyone else that would like to, does anyone here like to just give any words, anything regarding what we're talking about today? This is the time now. Let's see here. Close this. Let's go here. Close this. Let's look at Mr. Haroon. Haroon, how you doing there, brother?
Wow, I'm doing fine. Good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening to every one of you, depending on the location you are. First of all, let me just say my condolences to you over the loss of your mother.
Thank you, sir.
So your mother was very aged, and we thank God for her life. So may God continue to bless you and your household. Wow, concerning future, you see, you know that TBC now financially and the new economy, TBC is our new economy, and it is now and the picture because we have started seeing the fruits or benefits of TBC, and it is also it is also a thing that we can see as for us, for our children and the generations yet to come. That reason why we are calling upon you now that you have the ability to get more TBC reward into your wallet, because in the future, if you don't have it today, in the nearest future, you will not be able to get it, and your children and children will not be able to get it. So for the future, you have to work now to achieve what you're supposed to achieve in the future. Thank you very much.
Wow, I couldn't have said it better. You nailed it. Got to work now, right? Okay. So the key word is future, and it's not capitalized. Not capitalized. The word is future. And I know that word pertains to us here in TBC. That's one of the key words us here in TBC, future. Let's hear from Mr. Michi.
Hello, Steve.
Hello.
Continuously, we are sending you our condolences.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It's very, very heartfelt from you and everyone here. Trust me. It's been a rough week for me, bro. I'm telling you, brother, but I'm hanging in there.
It's not easy.
Woo! This is a tough one for me,
bro. Yeah, man. It's not easy, but just strong.
Yes.
It's all right. So with the topic on hand today, talking about future, we are here today because our parents believed in the future. Now, that's a fact. We are here today because they believed in the future. And we are now here working out the future to be better and looking at what we have in TBC, comparing it with every other currencies out there. We know that it is not to be compared with any one of them because this is indeed making its own inroad differently from what has ever been known by humankind. So if we can look at the future and look at it to be bright, I don't think anyone will be able to talk us out of what we are doing. So the key word is indeed great. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's talk to Mr. Mufu Money. Just unmute yourself. Mufu, can you unmute yourself? Well, I think he's on the phone. I think he's on the phone. If you're on the phone now, that's okay. We can come back to you, Mufu. All righty. While Mufi's accepting a phone call, is anyone else here have anything they want to mention in their hearts about our future? Now, I know one thing. I imagine everyone here can think about their future. Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay. Brother Mufu, how you doing?
Thank you so much, Ambassador, and my condolences once more, and
Thank you.
greetings to
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
broadcasters in the house.
Mhm.
Guys, it's really a great opportunity being here to talk with you. I've been a little bit absent. I was in the backyard because most of the time we are with the technical team and in the backyard working with others. But
Mhm.
talking about the future, as you put it today, guys, I never wanted to miss this opportunity to put this out. Somebody from Ivory, no, Eridisi, that is Congo. He has been a faithful TBC. He came to me this morning and was telling me that he and the wife, they have been putting money on monthly basis, and they have gathered TBC for some of the promo, but he is about quitting because right now he's not seeing what he has earned. I took him along to show him the future of TBC and to explain to him that look at the DeFi world right now and look at the present financial system and see where we were 3, 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years behind. We're not talking about crypto. We're not talking about mobile or virtual money, but see where we are today. Imagine in 2, 3, 4, 5 years to come. Just to link it to us here, broadcasters, I believe that all of us that are on this call right now have envisaged what TBC is in the future as far as virtual currency in global is concerned and TBC in particular. So looking into the future has made us to be assured that we have taken the right path with TBC and not to flatter or not to persuade any other person. So far for 5 years, we have seen the trajectory that TBC is taking, and we believe and we know what is going to be. That is why we believe in that future, and that is what gives us encouragement and more energy to move along daily. So when I talked to him about major things around the economy, he told me that he never had this open mind. He never had this information that he is going to think otherwise and make a different choice from the choice he earlier told me in the morning that he was quitting. Just to nail it all with the future, as you have put it with the title of that book, is that what? Once people don't see the future, once the imagination of people don't work out a true picture of what the future is to be, they may doubt. They may ask themselves, am I not taking the wrong choice or am I not going the wrong way? But the reality is that's what? Once you hold to the vision of TBC, which is about putting aside the inequality of the world and making men to be just in front of everyone and believe in their true nature, you start to understand that what is a long fight, but we are going somewhere. So, guys, all of us in this room that we are broadcasters, it is from that standpoint that we should let our voice be heard. Let our voice be heard not because we are only TBCians, but because TBC has linked us to what we're supposed to be, and we are moving towards that future. So that is the reality we should be sharing with it and everyone. And I believe you that we are touching hearts and people are coming up, people are awakening because most are ignorant of the reality of the world. So those are my words that I will put through for this
Wow.
topic. Thank you so much.
Wow, 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 wow. I tell you, folks, man, gosh, you nailed it again. Everybody's just right on point today. You
Yeah.
know, you spoke about, as you were talking, you said the quality of the world. You know, how we can change the quality of the world is about what we do now for the future, you know?
Sure.
So, folks, I
Sure.
know that we can just hear this and talk about this subject so much for probably an hour or two. because we have accomplished so much preparing for the future in TBC. So, and we know that from time to time, you may get 1, 2, 3 or more that may be interested in not continuing their services with TBC. But folks, this is not something that we what we often say a get rich quick type thing, or get rich, or something happen fast. Something that's meant to last is something that takes time, folks. So it's what we do here now is how our future can be brighter. As someone said, our future is bright in the chat. I like that. I like that. Okay, folks. Do we have anyone else? Let me see. I don't see anyone else. Last call for anyone that wants to offer their words of wisdom, as I call it. And again, the keyword is future, and it's not capitalized, future. Okay. All right, Mbeh, I think that's all for today. Looks like we're done.
Yeah.
So we do be mindful that we do have our weekly meetings that we starting up very soon. So make sure that you support our weekly hosts. I know they're getting ready to do their meetings. And then, of course, we have our mass adopted meeting start this Monday, because we know it's Monday through Friday. Okay. All right, folks. Again, the last time I say this, the keyword is future. I know it wasn't easy for a lot of you to figure that out, because I said it a lot after I stopped reading. It's quoted in the passages I read, and as well as I was reading, I was speaking about future. All right, folks. If that's all from everyone, because I don't see any hands raised, I guess let's just all unmute ourselves and say, the future is bright for TBC. The future is bright for TBC.
The future is
The
bright.
future is bright for TBC.
The future is bright for TBC.
The
Future is bright for
future is
TBC.
bright for TBC.
All right, thank you all. I'll see you in a few minutes in other meetings. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Arrested.
Thank you,
Condolences again.
Thank you.